Okay, today we see chapter 4, transport in plants. Okay, look at page 76. Plants we can divide to two. Okay, plants we can divide to two. That is vascular plants and non-vascular plants. Vascular plants is the plants, big plants like this. Big plants like this, we call it vascular plants. Plants like algae and moss. Moss tu macam lumut kan tepi-tepi longkang tu ada warna hijau tu kan. Yang tu mossnya lumut tepi longkang tu. Itu semua non-vascular plants. Okay, so two types of plants. Okay, this one you can just tick. Mana yang saya tick, saya highlight dalam buku teks pun kamu tickkan ya. Okay. So here vascular plants and non-vascular plants. Okay, next we see the structure of xylem. What is the function of xylem?
Transport water
And
mineral salt
from
some roots to the part of the plant
to the other parts of the xylem. Function of xylem is to transport water and mineral salt from the root to the Okay, this is the function of xylem. So if question asks the function of xylem, you must write one full sentence like this. Okay, you cannot just say xylem is to transport water. No marks. You must write one full sentence like this. Xylem transport water and mineral salt from the root to the other parts of the plants. Kalau kamu tulis macam ni, baru boleh dapat markah yang penuh. Tulis mana-mana ya. Sediakan satu buku nota, tuliskan ni. Sudah?
Dah cikgu.
Okay. Okay, this is xylem. See xylem. When they cut here, this is xylem. Okay, when we see the vascular bundle, it's like this. Okay, vascular bundle. Ni bahasa Melayu dia kata bekas vascular. In English we call it vascular bundle. Inside the vascular bundle got xylem, phloem and cambium. Okay, what is the function of phloem?
Transport organic material.
Phloem, wait. Okay, phloem, the function is to transport what?
Organic material.
No, you better use the word glucose. Glucose.
Oh.
You can write organic material, you can write food. But in the schema, normally, sometimes they don't accept. Okay, this is the function of the phloem. Transport glucose from the leaves to the other parts of the plants. Okay, you can jot it down. What is the function of the cambium? Cambium English, I think will come C. Cambium. What is the function of the cambium? Cambium will divide to form cambium will divide to form new xylem and phloem tissues. Okay, so this is the vascular bundle's function. Can understand, huh?
Boleh cikgu. Boleh.
Xylem tissue here have two types. One is xylem vessel and another one is the trachea. Two types of the xylem tissue. Xylem vessel and trachea. Okay, when we see trachea here, the end here is sharp. The shape is sharp here, the end for trachea. And trachea also, they have some holes here. The holes here for the movement of water. So through these holes, the water will move. When we see the diameter, xylem vessel has bigger diameter than the trachea vessel. Trachea vessel, the diameter is smaller. When we see both of them, they have the lignin. They have thickened with the lignin. Thickened with the lignin cell. Lignin is to make the trachea and xylem stronger. And when we see both of these is made of dead cells. Dead cells, cell mati. Then they are thickened with the lignin to make them stronger. Okay, we see the function here. All this is important. You can tick with pencil in your textbook. Okay, xylem consists of the dead cell. They are longitude, that means panjang, long like this, and then they have hollow tube where the water can flow. Okay, lignin give them the strength. Give them the strength, kekuatan, the strength. And avoid the xylem and trachea tissue from collapse. And prevent the plant from bend. Okay, this is what I say. The trachea, they have the lignin thickening and the pits to allow the movement of water to adjacent cells. These are the pits, lubang-lubang ni. The holes here we call it pits to allow the movement of water to the adjacent cells, to the next cells. That is the trachea. And then they have also parenchyma tissues here. They have parenchyma tissue beside here. They have parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue, the function is to keep food, to store the food. Around here they have the parenchyma tissue to store food. Okay, next we see for phloem. Phloem, here, phloem. This is xylem phloem. Okay, when we see phloem, they have 4 types of cells. Phloem have 4 types of cells, that is sieve plate, perforation plate, sieve tube, and companion cell. Okay, so phloem, they have 4 types of cells: sieve plate, perforation plate, sieve tube, and companion cell. What the food will go through the sieve tube. Food will go up through the, will go down, from the leaf go down through the sieve tube. Okay, then we have here the companion cell. This companion cell, they contain a lot of mitochondria. A lot of mitochondria to provide energy for the active transport of glucose during the photosynthesis. That is the function of the companion cell. Okay, when we see the companion cell here, companion cell contain a lot of mitochondria to provide energy for the active transport to transport glucose from the leaves during photosynthesis. Okay, that is the function of the companion cells here. Okay, when we see here, sieve tube do not have nucleus, and they are, this tissue, they are living cell, phloem living cell. Okay, just now we see xylem dead cells. For phloem, they are living cells. Cell hidup. Okay, so through this sieve tube, the food will flow. Okay, this is about the phloem. Okay, now we see the transport of how water and mineral salt are transported through the plants. Okay, they have 3 methods here to help, that is transpiration pull, capillary action, and root pressure. Okay, when we see here this picture, they show the transpiration pull. This picture shows the capillary action by the xylem vessel. This picture shows the root pressure. Okay. Okay, now we're going to see one by one. What is the transpiration pull, capillary action, and root pressure. So how the water move up? This one against the gravity force. So how they can move up the water? With the help of these 3 processes. Okay, we see one by one. First, we see the root pressure. Root pressure. Okay, this picture shows the root pressure. Kalau bahasa Melayu, dia kata tekanan akar. Okay, when we see here, for root pressure, this is the root hair. Okay, this is the root pressure. I repeat, water go in the root hair cell. This is the soil. From the soil, go to epidermis, go to cortex, go to epidermis, pericycle cells, and to xylem. This is the root pressure. Okay, see what happened here. Number 1, all this is important, number 1 to 5. You have to use the word water potential. Every time must use this word, water potential, to explain. Okay, how the water go in the root hair cell, you must also use the word what? If water normally we use the what word we use always? Osmosis, Osmosis, diffuse. All this word is important here. Water potential, diffuse, osmosis. All this we must have. So number 1, what happened here? This is number 1. The water potential in the root hair cell is lower compared to the water in the soil. So that means soil got more water, the root hair cell got less water. Because the inside the root hair cell they have low water potential. This one because inside the root they have more mineral ions. They have more minerals ion inside the root. So the water potential there is very less. So when the water potential is there, so soil got more water, that water will diffuse into the root hair cell. Okay, water from the soil diffuse into the root hair cell by osmosis. Okay, number 3, what happened? The high water potential in the root hair cell caused the water to diffuse from the root hair cell into the cortex by osmosis. So just now here the soil got high potential of water. So it go to the root hair cell. When the root hair cell have high potential of water compared to the cortex, the water will move to cortex, diffuse into the cortex by osmosis. The same thing happen. Cortex have high potential of water, so water molecules will diffuse to the endodermis by osmosis, and it happened until it reached the xylem. Okay, number 4. This condition causes osmosis continuously throughout the cortex, endodermis, and pericycle layers. This is what we call as root pressure. Will push the water in the xylem to go up to the stem and other parts of the plants. Okay, dekat sini, this is capillary action. Capillary action, they have 2 forces here. That is adhesion force and the cohesion force. Adhesion force is the force between the water molecule and the wall of the xylem. They pull each other. They pull like that, and then the water will go up. They melekat. So the water will go up like that. Cohesion force is between the water molecule. They pull each other and then they pull like that, and then they'll go up. That is adhesion and cohesion. Produce a pulling force which continuously move the water in the xylem vessel. Okay, this is transpiration. Okay, transpiration, we see what happened here. As we know, this is the mesophyll palisade cells arranged tight together. This is spongy mesophyll cells arranged loosely like this. This is xylem vessel. Okay, what happened here? The water vapor will be released by transpiration. During transpiration, the plants will lose the water through the stoma. So when, let's say, this cell lost the water here, so this cell will take the water from the adjacent cell. This cell will take from the adjacent cell and then it will form a force to pull the water from the xylem. Okay, we can see here all this is important. Okay, during transpiration, water molecule will diffuse out here through the stomata. Through the stoma to the spaces between the cell. From the xylem goes spaces between the cell and then it will come out through the stoma. This spongy mesophyll cell will lose the water. Will lose the water. When they lose the water, we call it they have low water potential compared to the adjacent cell. So the water will diffuse from the adjacent cell. And then these cells, same thing will happen. They also will have the low potential water, low water potential. And this cell will take from the xylem. So water molecule will diffuse. You must use the word diffuse, must use the word osmosis when you talk about the water molecules. Water molecules, diffuse, osmosis, all this must have. Okay, the movement will provide a force. We call it transpiration pull. This will pull the water from the root to the leaves. Okay, try to read this question. Shows the movement of water through the xylem. Okay, cell R. Cell R is the root hair cell, right? Why this root hair cell unable to carry out photosynthesis? Why? What can be the answer?
Kalau unexposed to sunlight.
Cell R, that is root hair cell, does not has okay, that is the answer because the root hair cell does not have chloroplast. Okay, now look at the second question. How cell R help water to enter the xylem? Cell R is the root hair cell. How it help to the water to enter the xylem? Okay, so how root hair cell help water to enter the xylem? Root hair cell transport mineral salt by active transport. This will cause the cell saps for the vacuole has low water potential than the soil. You must compare than soil. Water molecules diffuse into the root hair cells by osmosis until enter the xylem. Okay, next question. State the classification of plant tissue for xylem. If the plant contains xylem, we call it what kind of plant?
Vascular.
Yes, vascular. Okay, so the type of plant tissue for xylem is vascular plant.